Once upon a time, in a faraway kingdom known as California, a little girl was asked a simple question. What drives you to do social justice? Ever since then, something sparked inside of her, not only to make an effort to fight for herself, but to fight for others. Hi, my name is Sasha Williams, and like most of us, I'm an advocator, listener, disciple, and student fighting for justice in my community. But what does it mean to fight for social justice? I believe what allows us to fight, to advocate, and to be an ally for others is a drive inside each of us. And when one is asked the question, what drives you to do social justice? Everyone's answer is always different. For some people, it's a personal experience of injustice. For others, it's an example of family members or role models. And for most of us, it's a feeling of moral responsibility as a child of God. No matter how you tell your story, each reveals the true reason why we fight and do what we do. I believe my story is driven by my environment and personal experiences of being raised in a both white and Black community. At the early age of 8, my parents sat down and gave me the talk. No, not the classic birds and bees talk, but the talk and understanding what it means to be Black in America. Especially for me, as a young Black girl who lived and went to school in an all-white community, but spent most of my free time and did most of my activities in sports in an all-Black community. As I grew up navigating these communities, I started to realize the challenges of what it truly means to be a Black woman in America. For a long time, Black women have been pushed down to be the double negative. By that, I mean facing problems both as a woman and as African Americans. In my own personal experiences and seeing the pressures of being a Black woman and also seeing close family members and friends, I developed a passion and a drive. Throughout my teenage years, I continued to advocate for the needs and resources of young girls of color. And I thought I was doing everything right. I thought I was speaking out. I thought I was creating policies until one summer day. On July 22nd of 2018, 3 African-American sisters, Nia, Latifah, and Tasha Wilson, walked onto BART, or the Bay Area Rapid Transit, the local public transportation system connecting both the urban and suburban areas of the Bay. It was a late afternoon, and like thousands of other commuters, these 3 girls were on their way home after a long and busy day. As they got off the train station at MacArthur in Oakland, they were brutally attacked. One sister was stabbed and suffered critical injuries, while another sister, 18-year-old Nia Wilson, was slashed at the throat and murdered by self-identified white supremacists. On that very same day, my close friend Gabby and I were walking in downtown Oakland, getting off at the 19th Street BART station, just one station over from MacArthur. The next day, when Gabby and I found out what happened to Nia and her 2 sisters, we were completely devastated. And to be honest, we were also enraged. We thought how it could have been one of us, or how it could have been any other of our Black girlfriends continuously riding BART. Personally, I felt a sense of hopelessness. All the hard work that I have done fighting for social justice and all the hard work that my fellow Black sisters have done had been for nothing. The man who killed Nia Wilson killed her for the color of her skin. Something that we cannot change, something that I do not want to change. How can I advocate for the needs and resources of young girls of color if those very same girls' lives I'm fighting for are not valued enough to be protected in our very own communities? So that day, we decided to take action. We decided to create a campaign honoring Nia Wilson and her family. With the permission and blessing of the Nia Wilson family, we created the She Could Have Been One of Us t-shirt campaign. Our slogan, "She could have been one of us," means that any of us, another Black girl or woman, could have been in Nia's place, having her life taken away from her. We also show this through our logo, purposely not putting a face on the Black girl, meaning that she is all of us. In making these t-shirts and sweatshirts, our goal over this one-year campaign is to raise $5,000 with all the money going straight to the Nia Wilson family. But that is not our only goal. By working with various organizations and schools like Gabby and mine, we want to improve the idea and the importance of and the quality of life of young Black girls everywhere. This is why we also put Black Girls' Lives Matter on the back of the t-shirts, to bring attention to the violence perpetrated against young Black women and Black girls. What we want and what Nia's family wants is justice for Nia and for her legacy, as well as justice for her sister and for our community's loss. That is why, with this campaign, we also want to bring awareness to the discrimination that young Black girls experience on an everyday basis, like riding your local transportation. This is not just a race issue, and this is not just a gender issue either. This is a human rights issue. As young student advocates, we need to share and tell the stories of what happens in our communities. Social justice and social advocacy is nothing without recognizing that we are all connected human beings. We all have complex stories and lives in trying to create a better world with dignity and freedom. This conference brings students, teachers, and so many others from different places and communities. And because of this, we all have different stories that we want to share and different stories that we want to fight justice for. My drive and my story led me to develop a passion for fighting for young Black women and now fighting for the safety of young Black girls. Because of this, it allows me not only to share my story, but to share Nia's story as well. And in the words of my partner, Gabby, the Nia Wilson campaign represents elevating the voices of young girls of color. Too often, our voices and stories go unheard. Wearing these t-shirts and shirts represents unity, solidarity, and hopes that we can push our country in the direction for a better tomorrow. But just because we all come from different roads doesn't mean we can't listen, share ideas, come together, move apart, and fight for each other's causes and issues. For me and my partner Gabby, we want to fight for Nia and for the safety of young Black girls everywhere. Gabby and I invite you to follow our Instagram, become a sponsor, donate, and most importantly, buy a shirt. No matter what race you are or where you come from, we believe that everyone can proudly wear our shirts, as well as support the campaign and support the meaning of what it means to have a life and what a meaning of what it means to be a Black girl. Here at this conference, I invite everyone from all different roads, not to only help us further our campaign, but to move forward towards justice, beauty, and hope in all of our communities. But it starts with you. One thing that I urge you to take away from my speech tonight is what drives you to do social justice. That's why we're all here today. By finding that drive, by understanding why you're here, why you want to fight for others, it will lead you to a place and to a moment where you have never fought before. Thank you.